Play.
And those are, that first point, it's shades of what we saw from Keys last night when she played Suarez Navarro. She controlled the points with her serve. Very high first serve percentage, but even when she hit the second serves, never got herself in trouble.
Coming back with power. That's one of the things that you're going to have to absorb when you come into the net.
Absolutely, and not the place where Madison Keys is that comfortable. She likes to come in when she's in control. She doesn't like to be brought in. And that's the 1-2 she's looking for. The serve out wide, set the point up, and then just finish it off.
Madison Keys leads the tournament field in first serve points won by percentage. She wins 79% of the points on her first serve so far in this U.S. Open.
40-15.
There are a couple of them to bring her to a game point. Keys also has a tie for 9th fastest serve overall at 117 miles an hour. Osaka has the 4th fastest serve.
And to say, I wonder who's
ahead
ahead.
of her.
40-13.
Guess who's first?
Could it be the young lady that's in the finals?
Serena, yeah, without question. Keys second in aces in the tournament. Osaka 4th. Guess who's first? Serena.
Game, Keys.
Something that Osaka has done very well, besides winning a lot of her first serve points, is second serve points. She leads the tournament in second serve points won.
She's been pretty unbelievable, actually, with the second serves, but she's playing a different customer in Madison Keys, who will punish second serves.
And I'll back up what you say with numbers, because who leads the tournament in second serve return points won?
Osaka.
Madison Keys.
Oh, I take that back. So
right,
it is
return points.
It's Keys. It's Keys.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Osaka leads in second serve points won. Keys leads in
with
second serve return points won.
Yep. I was thinking possibly Osaka, because she cruised through so many matches, and she won one match, love and love, and then she had 6-1 sets. I mean, she was playing just lights out all the way through. And then she hit Sabalenka, who was another big hitter, and worked her way through that one.
40-15.
In the match against Sabalenka, that was a 4th round match. Osaka won the first set 6-3, but then the Belarusian Sabalenka won the second set 6-2. And Osaka was down a break in the third, but won it 6-4.
Game, Osaka.
And that's just such a good first serve. That's virtually unreturnable from Osaka. So she sends it right back to Madison Keys. Keys serving a very good first game, and Osaka sending the signal, yep, your serve's big, so is mine.
What I liked about what I heard from both of these players in their walk-on interviews before they came on the court, they both said the same thing. I want to go out and have fun.
Yes.
Now, winning is the most fun.
Yes, and the guy who's made it a lot of fun for Osaka, Sasha Bajin, her coach right there. Very interesting story, Sasha. 8 years with Serena Williams as her hitting partner, has been with some other players, but now this is his first real shot with Naomi Osaka at the big time as the main guy, as the head coach, and he's done just a wonderful job with her and says some fascinating things about Osaka. Talks about how he wants her to learn to be the boss on the court, just like Serena is the boss.
Good cross court.
15 all.
And what Osaka says about Beijing is he's helped her be more positive. She said sometimes she got down on herself and she was too negative on the court, and he's helped her be more positive in her attitude and approach to a match.
Absolutely. And that was a great running, hitting the ball on the run. That's an area that Osaka has improved dramatically.
15-13.
And you see Keys going to that drop shot. That's an indication that she wants to mix things up, but also out of respect for the power of Osaka. Maybe doesn't want to get into that bash-a-thon type of match with her.
Doesn't this match have the feeling when you watch these two players play through the 5 rounds to get to the semifinal tonight that they're going to be like 3-6-4 sets?
Quiet, please.
Yeah.
Just one mistake in each set is going to be the swing.
And you just get the feeling a match like this is going to come down to the intangibles.
40,
Who's going to
13.
be more opportunistic? Who's going to deal with that moment when they're confronted with something that maybe takes them out of their comfort zone? How do you deal with that?
Who gets behind love 30 in a game and can knuckle down and not let it rattle them?
Game, Keys.
Service hold for Keys, and we are on serve early in this first set inside
Keys
Arthur Ashe
leads
Stadium.
2-1 per set. Love 15.
These courts have been playing rather slowly, this U.S. Open, and you think about big hitters and you think they really like fast courts. They do, but Madison Keys takes pretty big swings. She's got a big backswing, and this court being a little bit slow gives her more time. She's doing so much damage with that time.
Love
But Lefty,
15.
don't you think to me it's slower because they're not playing as many matches on Ashe?
Ah,
This is the
Luke.
first year they've cut down on the
only 2.
daytime.
They played 2 during the day, but I think also the court they've slowed down the court some, and the air has just been so heavy.
Love 14.
And you see Osaka just getting a little unnerved, and if you're Keys, you notice that. You see it, and this is now the time when you go after this game. Get this early break.
Talked about somebody getting down love 30, and could they handle that? Now it's 3 break points for Madison Keys.
Second service.
And a little tentative, actually a lot tentative on that second serve there. And you know Keys is going to look to attack this right here.
15-14.
Didn't land
Yes.
it, but still 2 more opportunities at a break.
Of course, in these moments, it's all about that execution. And for Keys now, getting this big lead, has got to execute, especially if she gets a look at second serves.
Great body serve.
Yes, and that's very smart. She's mixing that serve up. She's so good out wide, but there into the body shows that she's thinking.
Yes.
3 break points saved, and the fist pump from Osaka.
And Keys got to look at 2 second serves in that ad court. One to the forehand, missed badly, and then that backhand was very tentative with that return. Yeah, I think Lynn's like, gotta get that.
Advantage Keys.
And so another chance at the service break for Keys. His mom.
There's Mama sitting there.
And the coaching advisors by committee.
Yes. And love the reaction from Osaka. Gets that serve in and then takes control with the forehand, and Sasha's up out of his chair. And that's the way to play. Fall behind, love 40, just hang in there, and that is sensational.
Advantage Osaka.
Osaka has only lost a service game 4 times in this tournament so far.
Pretty amazing, and this she holds after falling behind love 40 is a real pick-me-up.
Game Osaka.
And does. So saving 4 break points to hold serve, Naomi Osaka, and we're even at 2 games apiece in this opening
2
set.
games all first set.
Hey, Luke, at body language of Keys after dropping that game.
A little edgy. It's, you know, she'll have that from time to time, but I think the biggest thing that she's shown from the last match to this match is she has that controlled aggression. She doesn't hold a miss to the next point. She has a controlled burn and then moves the next one. Lots of encouragement from her box. Lots of positive energy going right to her.
Love 15.
We've seen from time to time Madison Keys get wobbly in the moment. She just had that opportunity to take advantage in this first set.
Love 13.
And let it get away, and now a couple of loose shots in this service game.
And we're seeing some, you know, the one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to litter up that scoreboard with unforced errors. And you got to regain that composure. Yeah, as we always say, you got to be an amnesiac when you're a tennis player.
There you go.
13.
Keys was asked after her win over Carlos Suarez Navarro in the quarterfinals. What's the difference from a year ago? And she said that in these big matches and big moments like this, she's feeling a lot more confident and comfortable, self-assured. So just as Osaka was down love 40 in her last service game, here's a challenge for Keys to try and hold serve here with a couple of break points on the other side of the net. Funny how the role is flipped here. And now Osaka needs to take advantage to try and create some separation. And the first one got dumped into the net.
Yeah, you saw that little fist pump there from Osaka. So engaged.
Game Osaka.
Service break to Osaka. And she takes the lead in this opening set, 3-2. The U.S. Open semifinal.
3-2 first set.
That's what you call turning defense into offense. Osaka had control of this point from the get-go, but Keys, wonderful anticipation here, and my, does she turn that into something special up the line. We talk about the little intangibles, and for Osaka there, you know, we talk about how big she hits, but that was all finesse, hitting that little sharp angle backhand. And Luke, I would imagine that looked pretty good from down there.
It really did. Nice touch. Both players scrambling, looking for advantage. And for the battle, Keys hitting that big forehand down the line, and Osaka's ability to get over that corner and rip backhands cross court and counter that big forehand.
Yeah.
15-13.
We talked about Madison Keys feeling more in the moment this year, able to make adjustments. Sat down at that changeover after giving up the service break, came out, fired off the great forehand winner down the line. She said the thing she's been able to do is not get away from her game plan. Remember her game plan in these big moments and have the discipline to stick with it. Just not finding the range there.
No, and there are times when Keys just has that tendency to overhit. And of course, you're feeling the weight of Osaka's ball also. Big difference from Suarez Navarro to Osaka. And it's a turnaround of just one night. Didn't have a day in between.
Keys
wants the challenge.
On the right far sideline. The ball's called in.
So we'll have our first chase review of the match coming here. Since Keys hit the ball long, it's could be kind of important for her. Well, caught some line.
That's all you need.
40-30. Miss Keys
So
has
game
two
point for
challenges
Osaka to try and get a 4-2 lead.
And converting that break of serve would be huge for her.
Lights for service. Use.
And Alan, you're right about Keys, and she says that she is focusing more on the game plan and not the occasion, and that's how she's dealing with the pressure of defending all of the points that she had, 1,300 points going in, and she's even had humor about defending those points.
Madison could wind up anywhere from 9th to 18th after the U.S. Open, depending on the outcome of tonight and Saturday, if she gets that far.
Advantage. Keys.
Double faults.
So if she gets that opportunity to break back, but in one of her press conferences, and she was being peppered with questions about all the points she has to defend, and how does she feel about that? How does she feel about that pressure? And she says, well, you know, I'm feeling pressure from your question. So she had humor.
Use.
Great serve.
And has dealt with it, obviously, extremely well.
Advantage Osaka.
Turning disadvantage into advantage again for Osaka.
And it's just so nice to be able to throw in that big serve. 110 miles an hour.
Use.
And it may be the longer rallies. What's going to be the difference? We know both players like short points. They like to set points up with their serve. 1-2, 1-2-3. But what's going to happen when you get these rallies of 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 shots?
Well, for Keys, one of the things she's talked about is resisting the urge to just go for the big shot when it's not right.
And in tennis, we call that shot tolerance. And how long can you hang? How long until you feel that you've got to go for the big shots? Are you willing to wait and set the point up when it presents itself and not force things?
So here's a 5th break point in the match for Keys, yet to convert one.
Use.
Look how heavy are these serves coming in.
They're really big. The other thing, I'm seeing a pattern there. Osaka's going at the Keys forehand on that serve, and really starting there. And then like in the last one, when it's really counts, goes right to the Keys backhand. Like there's a real plan to pitch the serve instead of just throw the big heat. There it goes again, right to the forehand, pulling her out of position.
And Maddie takes big swings. She takes big swings at those returns. You know, if she connects, it's great, but you're not always going to connect.
Game Osaka.
Another 2 break points saved for Naomi Osaka. She stretches out her advantage 4 games to 2 in this opening set.
Osaka leads 4 games to 2 per set.
Madison
Ladies and
Keys
gentlemen,
has only
once
lost
again,
1
please
set in the tournament.
try to keep your voices down. Players are ready for
In the
play.
3rd round, she lost the opener to Alexandra Krunic and then came back and won the 2nd and 3rd, 1 and 2.
La 15.
And Krunic is one of those players that mixes things up. A little bit like Sevastova that we saw against Serena. Krunic, great mover, incredible mover, has variety, but Keys worked her way into that match and took over after the opening set. And this a whole different customer coming at her, Osaka.
Love 30.
And that's, Luke, a little bit of a bailout with that backhand.
Keys is not moving well. When she's not moving well, taking those small adjustment steps, and then she starts flailing her big swings, and you get the airs, things are starting to steamroll the other way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Again,
Please.
love 30.
Love 40.
Hear the thump that ball came back.
Yeah. And the echo, it's inside. You
Yeah.
just hear that echo even more.
Game Osaka.
Wow, service break at love. Naomi Osaka
balls,
will
please.
serve for the
Osaka
opening
leads
set in a
5
moment.
games to 2 per set. Love 15.
Keys has talked about how these New York fans know when to jump in and give her a boost when
Thank
she
you.
needs one. Well, right
Point,
now she
please.
needs to give them a reason.
Absolutely, and Osaka thinks, well, these fans, they kind of like me too. I've spent, I'm 3 years old, I came to New York. I've been in this country a long time. She's talked about that.
Love 30.
Keys is the one that played the night match here last night in Ash, and you'd think that could be somewhat of an advantage. Of course, the roof was open last night, but doesn't seem to be capitalizing on that.
The atmosphere was kind of the same, though.
Yeah,
The fans
loud.
didn't get into the match until later on.
We got to look at Naomi Osaka's mother and her parents sacrificed so much for the careers of Tamaki, and the careers of both their children. Her sister Mary, also a tennis player. So parents of Naomi Osaka, and of course all tennis parents, they sacrifice plenty for their kids. And just overcooking that and feeling the pressure. Some of it has to be that recognition of you don't have to go so big. The point was there for Keys, but she has that tendency, especially when she's feeling that adrenaline, to overhit. You gotta dial it back some. That was a big point. Could have gotten one of these breaks back. But she knows she's certainly come back against Osaka. No one's going to forget that 5-1 in the third. 2016 here at the U.S. Open. Keys, Osaka, and Keys comes back. And the high part of the net, and Keys refusing to be patient. And we talked about you got to be willing to elongate these points. You don't have to go huge so early in the point.
So set point for Osaka.
Yes.
Luke, straight up the middle. That may be somewhat of a play.
Well, that was one of Lindsay Davenport's big plays in return. Big, deep down the middle, sets up the rest of the point. Keys has got to allow her power to be enough. Not try to win the point, allow her strokes, her big strokes with depth to win.
best rally of the match so far.
Osaka.
Osaka worked Keys off the side of the court, tried to set it up. Keys got back in it, but then couldn't close that one. And another set point for Osaka here.
Shot clock down to 7. Should give him a little time after that incredible point. Serve clock.
Game and first set, Osaka.
Osaka wins the first set. 6 games to 2 in 37 minutes. She's 1 set away
6
from a
games to
US
2.
Open final.
This opening service game, so important for Keys.
Love 15.
And you look at that court positioning, and Osaka, she's just the one a little bit closer to the baseline. She doesn't, her swings are not as huge as Madison Keys. Her backswing's a little more compact. Keys needs that time.
15 all.
That was Keys' fastest serve of the match so far.
$30-15.
It's so nice when you get that free point. You hit that big first serve in 110 miles an hour. Don't have to play that second shot. One thing, and we've seen this several times so far, Osaka's hitting very well on the run. She's hitting better on the run than Keys is so far in this match. And that's an area of the game when these two played in 2016, Osaka did not hit as well on the run as she does today. Improved dramatically in that regard.
30-40.
Keys definitely off range with her shots, and now Osaka with a break chance to open the second set. She has been focused, she's been intense since the match started, and she's been on target.
Miss Osaka is challenging the call on the right
Osaka
baseline.
stopped
Yes,
the
she did.
challenge, and she might have something here. So a chase review will tell us whether she has just gotten a service break on Keys or not.
Yep.
Sure has.
Game Osaka.
It's a lot of pressure.
Love 15.
Her mind has to be her weapon right now when everything else is falling apart and she can't make forehands or backhands. Can her mind navigate the troubles?
The other aspect of this, we've talked a lot about what Keys is or isn't doing, but Osaka is executing everything.
Let's for service. $15 all.
Looking for answers.
$30-15.
A lot of those unforced errors have been balls hit long. Might have been the best shot of the match so far from Keys.
And you hit a shot like this, you're way behind the baseline, and then you step in and change direction of the shot, and maybe that is that pick-me-up she needs. Better footwork. Got to keep those feet moving. Think clearly.
40,
and
13.
don't make an error on that next return of serve. It was a good serve. It was 116 miles an hour, so we'll forgive her. But she got a racket on it. Figure out a way to get that back in the court.
Use.
Chance here for Keys if she can find a way to get the service break. And she lost back here. Create a little belief, create a little confidence. Not be playing from behind in this second set.
Advantage Osaka.
115 miles an hour. Pretty sporty.
Use.
And you're watching this match, and you see this right here, the drop shot from Madison Keys shows that she's thinking, she knows she's got to do something different, because when you're watching right now, it's Osaka dominating in so many areas, and Keys, she does not have the clearance over the net either side that Osaka has. The clearance for Madison Keys, she's at 21 on the forehand compared to 34 for Osaka. The backhand side, 31 compared to 38. It is Osaka who's just got a much better margin of error. Makes a huge difference.
Advantage Keys.
So opportunity here for Keys. And here come those New York fans trying to pick her up.
Well, we know they want to see a third set, and most likely they want to see a Serena Williams, Madison Keys final. And these long rallies, and Luke, you see it, and we talked about that clearance over the net. Osaka, the shot tolerance is just much greater, and for Madison Keys, she's got to convert one of these break points.
It's rocket soccer. I mean, court level, both players just annihilating the tennis ball, just daring each other. Who's got a little bit more performance? And it's Osaka with the edge.
Advantage Keys.
So far in the match, when adversity is risen, Osaka has been up to it. But now that the crowd is starting to get into a little bit on the other side of the net, will that affect her in any way? Got it.
Use.
She just has the answers. But you go back to that first break point of the match that Madison Keys had. She went for the big forehand, didn't make it. There, she found the forehand off the return, but didn't hit a good enough approach shot. And look how calm, and the footwork inside, off her back foot for Osaka, open stance, and that's just very controlled. That was just beautiful. And so was that.
Wow.
Luke, what do you think of that one?
Huge. Absolutely annihilated that forehand, anticipated the slice out wide and caught it perfectly.
And the reaction, what is that reaction? What does it feel like down there when she hits a shot like that?
The box is going bananas. They're absolutely pushing every button.
89 miles an hour from Keys there. Oh, and then that's the problem, Alan. She's had so many chances to break.
Another one not converted. 0 for 9 in the match on the breakpoint conversion opportunities for Keys. Past 8 minutes in this game. What a great fight. Well, you know,
Keys.
If you're Osaka, if you keep giving Keys chances to break you, at some point it's going to happen.
She is a Grand Slam finalist, so yeah, eventually she's going to catch on. But if I'm Keys, take a few more seconds, get your composure, make her wait a little bit if you can. And you just have to give so much credit to Osaka. 111 miles an hour. She is just handling the moment. And this will just weigh on Keys if she doesn't get this break. 6 deuce of the game.
Advantage Keys.
You have to give Keys some credit here because she's obviously dug in and found some resolve after getting broken to open this second set.
Thank you. Please.
What a second serve.
That will be one to remember. And even Madison Keys has just got a little wry smile. Are you kidding me? Basically went for a first serve. Is this Nick Kyrgios? Yeah. Going for basically a first serve on a second on a big point.
Advantage Keys.
And if I'm Keys, maybe I give Osaka a little different look on this return. Maybe either move in, stand back, just something different. Don't let her feel so comfortable.
Use.
Wow. Buck 16 right down the tee.
No intimidation here from Osaka.
Advantage Osaka.
And Keys did beautifully. She executed the drop shot. She moves in behind it. She went cross court, had to cover that line. Too big a swing, but how calmly Osaka handled that low ball with two hands. That's very difficult. She did it very well under duress. Has saved all these break points, and now it's got her own ad. Well, you had to lift your keys. You had to look for that big one up the tee. And you look where she's standing. Is she going to try to go up that tee again? It's wide open.
Game Osaka.
Every question that Madison Keys has asked of Naomi Osaka in this match so far, she's had the answer for. 2 games to love, second set after winning the first.
Second set.
12 times she has faced a break point and saved all 12 in this match.
And those 2 aces up the tee, 1 a second serve. That's stuff of legend. You're playing for a spot in a US Open final and have the wherewithal to handle that and handle that moment against an opponent that you've never beaten, that you lost a huge lead to here before.
Love 15.
And Luke, what was Maddie's? What was her reaction after losing that game?
Wasn't that bad? I'm seeing it. Someone who's really digging in, like you said, and fighting. I mean, she's obviously frustrated in this position. She's not just closing the deal on these break points, but she hasn't lost her spirit. She's in this fight.
Love 13.
And she's got to stay composed. This is a must game. You're down the set, you're down the break. Keys' mother, she knows. She's watched so many of Madison's matches. You know, one of the really good tennis mothers, an attorney. She gets it. She's always had this all in perspective. Helped Madison keep tennis in perspective.
Got it.
15-13.
Naomi Osaka finished last year at number 68 in the world. She has climbed up to number 19. She could be anywhere from 7th to 17th.
13.
Great serve. After this US Open, depending on win or lose tonight, if she wins tonight, win or lose the final against Serena Williams, she does have a win over world number 1. She beat Simona Halep at Indian Wells.
She motored through that draw.
14-13.
And like we saw the little fist pump from Keys after the previous point, and there the good first serve. You've got to stay within striking distance, and Lindsay's going to chew every one of those nails off before this is done.
So Keys on the scoreboard in this second set. Can she rally and send it to a third and decide her? Osaka winning the first set, now up a break in the second. Keys' story on this night so far, opportunities for Madison Keys that she hasn't been able to convert, and execution by Osaka right from the first ball of the match.
love.
I'm talking about Osaka's personality. And, for those around the world who might have gone away to a commercial break during the changeover between sets, funny personality. After winning her match in the heat of the day the other day, was asked about the condition. She said, "I live in Florida. I'm used to this humidity."
It was stifling.
Yeah.
And she said, I really just don't think it's that hot. Very funny, quirky.
14 love.
Wow.
And after fighting so hard to get the hold, her previous service game, not messing around in this one. 3 consecutive points, gets up 40 love, fought off all those break points and got away on Keys. So many opportunities lost. That's a nice step there, but you can't be 0 for 12 in break points when you're trying to get to a U.S. Open final.
Yeah.
It just, things are not going to match up for you. You've got to figure out a way.
You're playing a tough opponent who's playing well. When opportunities present, you've got to cash some in.
We talked about how tennis and the hold for Osaka is a game where you have to be incredibly opportunistic. And if you're not, you're going to pay the price, and that's exactly what's happening here. And time has not run out. It's a set and a break, but she's going to have to get the break at some point. But of course, you take care of business on your own serve first, and then you focus again on trying to get that break.
What the social media conversation is about this one. The hashtag is US Open.
15 love.
First ace of the match tossed there by Madison Keys. Winner.
30 love.
Those are a couple of scorchers from Keys, and I'm guessing from the vantage point down there, Luke, she's just seems to be striking the ball a little better.
Taking the ball a little bit earlier, not panicking and forcing it.
40 love.
A few more of those would help.
Yes, and a couple of convincing service games if she gets through this one. Striking the ball much more cleanly.
Game Keys.
Service hold to log for Madison Keys. Now can she find a way through the wall that has been Naomi Osaka to get back into this match?
Osaka leads 3 games to 2 second set and by 1 set to love.
We're playing the second of the women's semifinals. Naomi Osaka serves up a set and a break.
15 love.
Starts it off with a 100-mile-an-hour shot out the side door. Madison Keys unable to find a way through the Osaka service game so far, even though she's had multiple opportunities. But the more games that are played, in this second set, without Keys finding an answer to get those breaks happening, the closer Osaka gets to the finish line. Talk a lot about Keys feeling like more settled in these situations this year. For the Osaka, the same story. More belief, more confidence.
30-15.
And that's 2 sensational wide serves in a row. And you know who's waiting in the finals for the winner of this as you look at Serena's former hitting partner, 8 years, Sasha Bain, now the coach of Naomi Osaka. Learned so much from being with Serena day in and day out. Has talked about how much he wants Osaka to learn from Serena. How the difference between these two is that Osaka not yet feeling like she's the boss out there.
30-all.
Serena, she controls everything. She's the boss. She lets you know she's the one in control. That's what he wants to see from Osaka. But Luke, we were talking about it, how much Osaka reminds all of us of that young Serena.
There's just so much about her, the
40,
composure, the confidence, the big weapons. That 99 was magical for Serena. It was really, the world got to see the future of greatness that year.
And this is just big, and love the margin of error you see on that shot. She's in control, but she doesn't go for too much. Absolutely gorgeous from Keys. And maybe she's starting to time the ball better. She's getting used to the Osaka heavy groundies more, but she has laid into some just magnificent ground strokes in this second set. But again, it's time. Can she get it done? Can she get the break of serve that she needs?
Advantage Osaka.
Naomi Osaka has been extraordinary in this tournament, winning points on her second serve, so far above her season average.
Game Osaka.
You could kind of feel on those last two swings, right? Keys going for the big shot there.
Osaka
And so
leads
another
4
service
games
hold
to
for
2
Naomi
second
Osaka.
sets.
We're 6 games into this second set, and each time Osaka serves and Keys doesn't break, Osaka's getting closer to the final.
Yes, and you just feel the air just coming out of this place. They're itching for that break back from Keys.
Look at the numbers.
Thank you.
55% second serves won tonight.
Yeah, and has been over 60% for the tournament. And is that right that usually
season,
she's in the 30s somewhere?
36%, yeah.
It's just nuts. If you're going to bring it at a slam.
Osaka has really been a tennis steamroller in this tournament. 3-2 in her opener, 2 in love in her second round, love in love in the third round against Sasnovich.
30 love.
Actually lost a set in the fourth round to Sabalenka, but won the other 2, 3 and 4. And then against an ailing Lesia Sarenko the other day, 59 minutes, 1-1 in a quarterfinal.
Yes, that Sabalenka match said a lot. Sabalenka was the player of the summer.
Yes.
And it was interesting how Osaka, down a break in the third set, said, you know what, I felt like I was the more experienced player for once in a big match. And it showed. And maybe what she gleaned from that match, she's using out here today.
Wish I'd kept track of how many of the points Keys has lost she's hit long on.
Yes, and well, earlier we saw that graphic and their clearance over the net, and Keys hitting so flat, does not have the clearance that Osaka has. As hard as Osaka's hitting, she's putting a little more spin on the ball.
service hold for Keys, but she's down a set and a break. Can she find a way to get around Naomi Osaka and force a third set? Second set, semifinal. You look at the winners to unforced errors and the forced errors in this match between Madison Keys and Naomi Osaka. Osaka to serve here. Up a break. Key game in this set for Madison Keys, the opening game of the second set, when on 4 unforced errors, 2 forehand, 2 backhand. She lost her serve, and she's been playing from behind since.
Keys hitting much more cleanly in this set than she did in that first set, but when you're down a break, down 3-4, trying to go big over the high part of the net, very difficult.
Really, the deficit in the match for Madison Keys, if you want to, you can go all the way back to the 4th game of the opening set, when Osaka saved 4 break points to hold serve, saved 2 more in her next service game to hold serve, and by that point, Keys just couldn't find a way through.
Yeah, and
a trend that's continued on into this second set.
So true, but hopefully if you're Madison and in her camp, those forehand winners, starts keeping those up. We just saw that stat. Incredible recognition from Osaka, because the Keys, that running shot from Keys was going way wide, but it hit the top of the, look at how this hits the top of the post and that goes in, but the recognition right there, and Osaka on top of that forehand and imploring herself, 30 off, got to get this hold.
30-40.
Because she sees Madison Keys coming at her, and Keys is playing so much better. The weight of that return was immense.
Is 13 Keys' lucky number?
Knocked her back, and it's not easy to knock Osaka back. Think it's the one. We'll see. You know, Osaka even trips. It's a break point. She hits the serve. She loses her footing in the middle of the point and then regains it. And it's just got to be so frustrating for Madison Keys.
What Osaka's been able to do over and over again in this match is when she's faced adversity, pull out a big serve, right? The big booming serve had Keys on the defense that whole point, right from the start.
Now watch the second serve. The MPH is starting to go down. She's getting tight, Osaka. It's landing short on the second.
There was that little stumble that you talked about,
80 miles an hour. She wins the point, but I'm telling you, she is tight right now.
Oh, and Keys knows, and she even tried. She's worked with Lindsay Davenport in these moments when it gets tight to rip that return up the middle. She tried to hit it up the middle, but just too much adrenaline and overhit. And Osaka, in the back of her mind, you gotta remember, you were up 5-1 in the third against this opponent 2 years ago here, and you couldn't get it done. Is she going to be clear in her thought process at this point? When her opponent is playing so well, starting to play well, and you know what's on the line, a Grand Slam final. You've never been here.
Advantage, Osaka.
she's not playing like she's never been here. So another series of opportunities for Keys that she hasn't been able to cash in on, and a game point here for Osaka to be one game away from a U.S. Open final.
Game Osaka.
5-3 Osaka in the second set. She's one game away.
And you see Sasha standing.
Osaka
And
leads
one of the
5
things
games
that
to
he
3
said about
second set.
Osaka, that she needs to have a positive mindset. And what he wants her to do is look what is working in matches. Work with the things that are working for you to win a match. And that's exactly what she's doing. And for Keys, up against it, serving to stay in it.
Madison Keys needs the rally of all rallies right now. Keys so bitterly disappointed after working all the way to the U.S. Open final a year ago.
30 love.
Only to really throw a clunker out there on court. And lose to her friend Sloane Stephens. Now back again in a semifinal. And her service games in this second set have been strong.
She ain't going down without a fight, and she will make Osaka serve this out.
Game Keys.
Service hold to love. And in a minute, Naomi Osaka will serve to try and go to the U.S. Open final.
Osaka leads 5 games to 4 second set and by 1 set to 1.
Naomi Osaka serving for a spot in the U.S. Open final.
Love 15.
She has faced love 30. She's faced love 40 in this match so far and hasn't yielded a break to Madison Keys. Naomi Osaka living here in New York City after being born in Japan, living in New York from age 3 to about 8 or 9, she says. She says this U.S. Open was the first tournament she saw live.
30-15.
First time she saw all the pros she saw on TV in person. She said she's always dreamed of winning a Grand Slam, and that if she did win a Grand Slam, that the first one she won would be here, this tournament.
2 points away, 2 terrific first serve to get her to 30-15.
And now match points.
Thank you.
There it is. Naomi Osaka will play Serena Williams for the U.S. Open Championship. What a performance for the 20-year-old.